Happy holidays, everyone. It's Invisible Walls, episode 187, our annual Turkey Day episode where we give thanks for things we like and we call out the turkeys from the year 2011. This is going to be a bit of a short show, at least in comparison to the last two episodes, which were behemoths. But we wanted to give you guys something as you go on your way and hang out with the family and friends over the Thanksgiving weekend. So here we are to do that. Ryan Stevens is on the show today.
Hello, hello.
Marcus Beer is here to deliver his turkeys. I know you can't wait for that.
Never mind the length, just enjoy the quality.
Turduckins.
I was talking about the show.
Oh.
And we're also bringing on a couple of our interns today. They've been working with us for quite a while. They've done an amazing job. So we wanted to bring them on the show and kind of get them out there a little bit. Ed Zhao, is that correct? Did I say that right?
That's pretty much correct. I've basically been desensitized to pronunciation over my life. Hello, interwebs. How you doing?
And Benjamin Moore is here as well.
Hey, everybody.
So these guys are going to tell you a little bit what it's like to be interns here at GT. Hopefully it hasn't been too painful for you guys.
No, it's been pretty good.
A little bit of a delay there.
They're all sitting within smacking distance. So
Yeah, they're afraid they're going to get the backhand. But we are looking for guys to replace these guys, so we don't want to make the door hit them in the ass on the way out, but hopefully they can convince some of you folks out there that interning here is worth your time. So here we go, short episode. It's Turkey Day. Let's do it.
Intern Edition.
Just whenever.
All right, so here we are talking to our, interns.
Are you going to say slaves or sluts?
Slaves.
Oh, okay.
So what's it been like working here, guys? You feel like you've got a pretty good education while you've been away from school? And feel free to talk over each other.
Yeah.
We do it every week.
And don't all speak at once. I mean, seriously.
I guess the thing that I would want to say is I didn't really know what to expect coming in here. I thought it would just kind of be playing games, maybe that other people didn't want to play, like motion games and things like that. But it really wasn't that at all.
Well, I've seen you play some motion games back there.
Sure. I mean, yeah, there's definitely been a little bit of that, but I've just been kind of impressed with how responsive people have been to, like, if I show an interest in something, they really want to get me involved with it. And I think that's really encouraged me to kind of step up and be like, hey, I want to work on this. I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of this. And like the more initiative you show, the more rewarded you are. And I think that's been really gratifying. And I've gotten to do some pretty awesome stuff because of it.
Did you learn anything about Halo?
I'm a big Halo fan, and I've played every Halo game that has come out, and I've played more Halo in the last month than I have my entire life combined.
Yeah,
so.
Ben worked on the Halo retrospective, which more of you people should have watched, damn it. That last episode of that thing is just ridiculous. Like, if you have any confusion over the Halo story arc or any of that, watch it. It's mind-bending how in-depth it goes.
Well, I think people have been playing games. There's been a few released over the last couple of weeks.
One or two, maybe.
But, now we're into the quiet time.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
Starting to get a little quiet, at least. Getting some sleep these days. Ed, what was your impression of your internship?
I thought it was awesome, and I mean, for me, I've always wanted to be somewhere in the video game world. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just wanted to know I wanted to be there. If you're interested in journalism, I think you definitely want to try this out because you're going to get a lot of practical knowledge about how everything goes on, and then you'll get a lot of other stuff. For example, I know Ben said that if you're interested in something, you should go ask and they'll help you. I got a lot of help from Miguel in writing. And then there are a lot of editors in the back who, if you ask them, hey, how do you do this in Final Cut Pro or something like that, they'll help you out there too.
And can you tell us about your thesis?
Oh, my thesis, okay. So I'm actually writing basically half of my thesis out here. It's the correlation between video game scores, the journalism scores, and then how well sales do. It's been tough, but it helps because there are contacts here and, it's easier to talk to people.
I heard you got to meet Michael Pachter.
I did get to meet Michael Pachter.
Both of you, right?
Yeah.
That was awesome, by the way. That was absolutely amazing.
An analyst. Ooh.
Now, I think one thing I would say is that when we get interns in here, they are not our slaves. I was obviously joking about that earlier.
There's an amendment against that. Where they're more indentured servants.
Yeah. We take a very proactive approach to mentoring these guys. It's very important to us and very personal. So while you guys do come in here and work for free, which we appreciate, and to kind of preempt what we're going to talk about later, things we're thankful for. I'm thankful for you guys. You helped us get through Q4. Definitely made the road a lot smoother for us to get through. So I thank you very much for that, guys.
So what's the worst thing you've had to do since you've been here? Because I
Yeah,
can
what's
ask
the
this.
worst?
I can ask this.
Yeah,
Come on.
When we
What is that?
helped out with the GT motion shoot,
Oh.
um,
Oh my god.
and they were covering Just Dance 3 and Dance Central. So if you watch the episode coming up, you'll see us dancing along to Dance Central.
Kate
and
Perry?
Just Dance
Kate Perry
3.
songs? Kate Perry songs?
No, not Kate Perry. But yeah, it's pretty embarrassing. So
Note
have
to
fun
the
with
editing
that.
team: insert clip here.
Yeah. Well, if that's the worst thing that happened, that's not so bad. You got to go on a couple field shoots as well, right? So you got to see what that experience is like, what it's like working with a crew and setting up for shoots and trying to get through 5 segments in like an 8-hour day. Helps you kind of figure out how you manage your day as a producer and things like that.
And what's
So-
the best thing that you've been working on? That's just the coolest thing that you thought. You know what? I never thought I'd get to do this. You know, a game you got to play early, Halo, whatever.
I said before I came out here that if the first day I come in and people are playing Dark Souls and then they're like, hey, you want to try this out? I would be blown away. And that was exactly what happened the first day. People were playing Dark Souls and they're like, oh, hey, we need some pickup footage. So I got to play it, you know,
I may
a week before
cry.
it came out.
So is that why you picked him, Ryan?
Oh, he's so darling. They grow up so fast.
Oh man, I would.
What about you, Ed?
I would have to say BlizzCon.
Yeah?
Being able to get into BlizzCon was just so amazing, and then I just loved the whole experience of being able to sit down and just talk about games, not just at BlizzCon, but like here. It's just the attitude that everyone's a gamer, and then you can just have this hour-long conversation about something that's very important to you.
Yeah.
And who's been the biggest dick here?
I wouldn't say there's anyone who's a dick, but I think Miguel's a troll. He's the biggest troll I've ever met in my life.
I think at one point Ed really likes penguins, and Miguel was trying. Miguel's kind of a gourmand, I think it's safe to say, and Miguel was trying to convince him that he had eaten penguin, and that it tasted really good.
The bigger question is, why do you like penguins?
What?
Because
What-
they're
what-
awesome on toast.
No, oh, wow. All right.
I love
how
penguin pate.
can you not love penguins? That's the real question.
Well, I say that every day. I'm a Pittsburgh fan.
Have you seen Happy Feet?
Have you seen
Have you seen Happy Feet
2?
2?
Doing that this weekend.
Have you played Happy Feet 2?
I have.
I'm so sorry.
We like estimated it out, and we think Ed talks about penguins 10 times a day. So
Probably a little more.
yeah, probably a little more.
Probably a little more.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for everything you guys have done for us here. Another thing, too, is, once these guys leave here, we will stay in contact with them. The mentoring does not end once you leave here as an intern. We work with you guys to keep you going in the right direction, and then hopefully someday, a job opens up here and we can bring you guys in. It just worked for one of our old interns, Chris. So thanks again, guys. Best of luck finishing out school. Make sure you put an emphasis on that and finish strong, and hopefully we'll see you back here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the experience.
All right, so next we're going to talk about the things that we are most thankful for in gaming for 2011. It's been a pretty amazing year. Good games across the board. Lots of sequels, but lots of good sequels. And here to talk today about that with us and the rest of the show is Daniel Bloodworth.
Hey.
Welcome aboard, good friend. Ryan, if there's one thing you could point out as something that you're most thankful for in 2011 in the world of video games, what would it be?
I'm just really happy that 2D platformers, it wasn't a freak occurrence last year, and they actually are still here. I don't think maybe quite as much as last year, but this year we got the excellent Rayman, which is as pure a platformer and a full game as you can expect. It's a little bit of New Super Mario Brothers, a little bit of Super Meat Boy, and it's a pretty successful game.
Beautiful game.
Yeah. I don't like the way Rayman himself looks, but it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to deny just how exquisite some of
It's a gorgeous game,
looks.
yeah.
Really a big fan of Miss Splosion Man's comedy, and that's Daniel, I know you played it.
Yeah.
It's got a little more of a conceit with the explosions, and it's not as freeform as I'd like, but it's still a pretty excellent game. And I'm just glad that 2D platformers are here to stay.
I mean,
it's
Mario is really a 2D platformer. It's
on
polygonal,
a
but
3D plane. There's some Z-axis there.
very little, though.
I would say there's a little going up and down the screen and left and right. I am glad, it's kind of splits the difference between the two, I would say. But I'm glad just that, straight up 2D. Even, I guess Guardian of Heroes is more of a beat 'em up, but even that getting released to a lot of people, because let's be honest, no one played Saturn games.
Right.
And that's one of the games that people should really play. And I'm just
One of
really
few.
happy that, these things can coexist. That it's not like, hey, we're doing a 2D platformer because we're crazy and we're retro. It's like, no, this is a legitimate way to make a game, and people should pay for them and have fun with them. I still hear a lot of people saying, how can Rayman be $60? It seems expensive, but there's a lot of game there. There's a lot to do.
Yeah, that actually is a pet peeve of mine. Like, people see 2D and they automatically think it should be cheaper.
Yeah, but we've done it too. I mean, I remember when Boyna's Blob we were kicking around that in the E3 awards 2 years ago. We're like, is that a DLC game? I think it's a DLC game. Checked on it. No, that was a full release.
Retail price.
Yeah.
What about you, Marcus? What are you thankful for?
I'm actually thankful for just 2011 in general for games. I think it's been a banner year, one of the strongest we've had in, forever, basically. I think we kicked off the year really well with Dead Space 2 and Portal 2, which were obviously sequels, but they improved on the originals. We had a strong sort of like, mid-year. We had L.A. Noire come out, Infamous 2, which is obviously a big favorite of mine. And then from September on, we just rolled through some amazing titles, kicking off with Arkham City.
Deus Ex.
Deus Ex, isn't it? Yeah, Deus Ex is another one. That was a phenomenal game that was first person and not necessarily a shooter. Take note to the people who are doing the new XCOM game.
Yeah.
And then we finish off with the phenomenal Skyrim, and I think it's been a banner year to be a gamer. I think there's a lot of stuff that's going to keep us going well into next year, because there's games I still haven't even finished that I just want to go back to. Really, really good year, and I think if you're a gamer, no matter what system you support, you should be very, very happy.
Bloodworth.
Yeah, for me, I'm thankful that a little pet project of mine is finally getting off the ground. This year we're going to have a soundtrack category finally for our Game of the Year awards.
Yep.
And it's something I've been trying to do for the past couple of years, but it's something that to really do right, you have to have your eye on the ball pretty much throughout the whole year. And last year I tried reaching out to publishers and got utter silence. So this year I've been more focused on just kind of keeping an eye on that stuff throughout.
And there have been some amazing soundtracks this year.
Yeah. I have my fingers crossed for EA Tracks. Those guys, they just make these hits.
I think they actually saw less of that this year.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Less just kind of aggregated soundtracks in games and more original scores, which is great.
So yeah, I still haven't actually decided on what my favorite one is yet. I've got a hit list of 5 or 6 that I really like, but it's one of those things where I go and I listen to a soundtrack. It's I like this one the best, and I listen to the next one. It's oh no, I like this one better.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, I have probably 3 that really stuck out with me. Although I'm just now playing Skyrim, and the music in that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, have you got it hooked up to surround sound?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah,
it sounds pretty awesome.
I mean, it is just one of those ones that you don't really notice until it sort of dies out, and then you're like, where the hell did it go? And it's just timed so nicely. The crescendos it hits.
Let's see. What am I thankful for? I am thankful for indie developers, the small developers, the guys who make DLC. I know Marcus mentioned earlier that it's been solid throughout the whole year, but I would beg to differ a little bit, and I would say the summer was pretty damn slow. What got me through the summer was the summer of arcade games and all the DLC that came out. I mean, there have been at least 5 must-play DLC games this year. I really enjoyed Bastion. I really enjoyed Trenched. You got Missplosion Man. It just goes on. And I think you're really starting to see these smaller guys get to the point where their games are hard to discern from the $60 releases. I've heard some rumblings that the prices for these games may be going up soon. I think that's maybe a testament to the quality you're getting for what you're paying. But I really think that this year was the year where Xbox Live and PSN really became valuable as far as having that on your consoles. I just really enjoyed the DLC. It got me through a big dry period this year. Props out to all those guys who are working with the 5- and 6-man teams that get this stuff done. What they're accomplishing on a shoestring budget and with a small staff is commendable. And to me, that's the one thing that really stands out this year compared to years prior.
And Bastion should be another one that goes on the best soundtrack list, because that has some of the greatest music.
It'll be there.
I mean, Bastion, one of the highlights of the year for me.
Yeah. So it's been a great year for DLC, a great year for spending little and getting a lot. All right, now we're going to flip the script a little bit and give out the Turkey Awards. I know Marcus is chomping at the bit for this one of his favorite moments of the entire year.
I am calm today. I have no turkeys. It was a wonderful year. Nobody got on my nerves.
But we will start with Ryan. Ryan, what's your big turkey for 2011?
Horde mode. I have nothing against Horde mode as a game type that you can have, but when it's kind of propped on the shoulders and paraded around town, I mean, it was cool when they added it, and it seemed like a natural thing. And yes, people are. I'm trying to be fair here. I still think it's a fucking turkey, and I'm really upset. That's basically what Mass Effect. I've got to play Mass Effect's multiplayer, and it was very beta, but that does not seem like anything I want to dabble with, even with the story stuff tying into it. But now people, I mean, basically, you have a level, just like you'd have for a multiplayer match, and then you program the AI is already there, and you just program these waves. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of thought to it, and it's something you can play around with. I still haven't tried the Modern Warfare 3's version, but I was not a fan of zombies in the past games.
Me either.
And you know, it's one of those things that I'm glad that it's there, but it seems like it should be a bonus more than its own tentpole.
Well,
let's say.
everybody passes it off as we have co-op when it's actually Horde mode. And let's face it, Horde mode is nothing more than fucking Space Invaders. If you think about it, it is Space Invaders with snazzy
There's nothing
graphics.
wrong with it, but I think by its own definition, it's a little on the easy to poop out side of things.
Yeah, I can't wait until The Sims 4 introduces Horde mode.
Marcus, what's your turkey for 2011?
All right, so my Turkey Gobble Gobble award goes to Sony for the PSN debacle. They really screwed the pooch there. And it's not necessarily their security system. It's the way they handled it. They really, I mean, and they tried to make good. And, you know,
You didn't like all those free games you already had?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, they did try to make good, and they did try to repair it, but it was just, it showed how out of touch they were. As a publicist or an ex-publicist looking at this, it's like, you guys just screwed from day one. You obviously didn't have a contingency plan in place. You've got one person who's the head of the Sony Corporation saying one thing, then the head of Sony Computer Entertainment saying another thing. It seems to be every man for himself, and at the end of the day, everybody in the middle is getting screwed. So, you know, that to me was a big red flag, or, you know, X against Sony. They have picked up since. They do need to revamp the PSN, though. PSN, just the storefront and everything.
Yeah, they revamped Home, right?
Yeah, well, at Home I really don't care about, but no, the storefront, because I still think they're well lagging behind XBLA. So that
is
was
free.
my... Yeah, it
You
is
always
free.
gotta keep that in
no,
mind.
it is free. You know, fair dues to them. It is free. But that's
There
my...
aren't ads on your dashboard every time you start up the system.
That's actually a good point. I mean, you pay for Xbox Live. Why am I being exposed to ads?
It's premium placing. You know, I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
of course it is.
No, it's premium placing to basically help secure. And this is how Xbox works. It helps to secure the exclusive content a month early.
Yeah.
So that, you know, it is pimped and it's out there. 'Cause let's face it, they want to sell the system. They want to sell the subscription. So they, you know, that is the
They
number
should
one.
reserve that crap for silver members, though. If I'm paying an annual fee, I shouldn't have to see ads. Period.
Well, I got one second Turkey, and that was the Rage launch party this year. Too many Hollywood douchebags. I hate those sort of things happening.
Not enough gaming douchebags.
None. You know, I mean, the gaming douchebags were outweighed 90-1, and I really.
How many Ed Hardy shirts were there?
Oh, it was like Jersey
Hardy
Shore
cloche.
there at one point. It was like, you know, I was expecting the Jersey Shore people to fight with the hipsters, because it would have been
That would
hysterical.
have been awesome.
It would have been hysterical. So.
What about you, Bloodworth? What's your turkey?
Mine is kind of a two-sided. It's about basically about the 3DS, you know. And first, I mean, obviously Nintendo has really kind of dropped the ball with that launch and everything, and we're just now seeing them pick up steam. But I think the other side of the coin is the people that have taken that and used it to say that, well, handheld gaming is going to die and everything is going to move over to the iPod and stuff. And I think what we're seeing now, especially in Japan, which is kind of, you know, the realm of the handheld, you know, now that Mario is out, not only has 3DS sales jumped up, they've jumped up to eclipse all the other platforms combined
Right.
for the past 2 weeks in a row.
Well, this is a do or die time for the 3DS, right? Like,
Yeah.
Either it kills it at the holiday season, or it's gonna get killed.
Yeah, and just anecdotally too, I've had more people asking me about, is Mario good? Is the 3DS good? How much does it cost? And and their kids are asking about it more now. So I think that again, people, and it seems like even Nintendo this time around forgot that games are what drive
Sell the hardware.
Nintendo should always launch with a Mario game.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
really rocket science.
Well, they have 3 months to really sort of like take advantage, because Vita's out in February.
yeah, I mean, I think the Vita will be really telling.
Yeah, I mean they do have some good games ready to go. I mean,
Yeah, I
Uncharted's
mean-
coming out in Japan in December. So.
Right. I mean, if you launch with an Uncharted game and you can't move hardware, then you've got a big problem there.
You know, Sony have a huge blitz marketing plan for January on. Nintendo have sort of like stepped up with regards to the packs that they're doing. They've just announced a Zelda pack and a Mario pack. They've got a whole bunch of stuff, which is perfect. You just pick it up, drop it in your trolley, and off you go. So
Kind of a tangent here, actually. Actually, a big tangent. Have you guys seen anything about the sales of Uncharted 3? Because I keep getting these press releases in my inbox. Modern Warfare sold this. Skyrim sold that. All
Batman sold. Yeah.
Right.
I
But I have
haven't.
not got anything yet for Uncharted, which makes me a little nervous.
No.
I mean, do we really get them that often for single platform games?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I haven't got anything yet, so it's a little
Yeah.
disconcerting.
Look, I think it's always been the case with Uncharted, though. I mean, it's always been a critical darling. but
They're
it's one of the-
advertising the living crap out of that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
You cannot.
I guess how many more Subway sandwiches were eaten?
I think the analogy is, though, that, to be fair, if no matter it being such a brilliant franchise, if it had been a primetime television show, it would have been cancelled after the first one.
Yeah, you're probably right. All right, so Blood, anything else to add?
No, that's all.
All right, so my turkey, and this is a little bit of what Bloodworth was talking about. Undoubtedly, my gaming turkey for 2011 is just Nintendo as a whole. The 3DS launch, part of it. The other part of it is that Nintendo had the most successful console of this generation and failed to support it past year 3, essentially. I mean, here we are. This is the 5th year of this console's life. There's one game worth playing this entire year, unless you count Kirby. I mean, that's pathetic. The Wii U, okay, if it was coming out this holiday season, I get winding down the Wii the way they have, but it's not. It probably won't be here till next holiday season. What is Nintendo doing for the next 12 months?
Mario Party 12.
Where are they going to make money? I mean, obviously Mario Kart, Mario for 3DS, going to do well, going to move a lot of hardware there. But, I mean, the whole other half of their business has basically just been closed down at this point. I mean, Zelda, I'm sure it'll sell great. But once you get into January of next year, what's going on there?
And if the rumors are true that they are considering partnering with Origin for the online system for Wii U, Nintendo can look forward to being the biggest turkey of next year as well.
Well, I mean, they botched the 3DS launch. They botched the Wii U showing at E3. People still think that the tablet's like an add-on for the existing Wii. They've refused to bring games over that are already translated to America when people who have Wiis are like, my God, what am I going to do with this thing? What am I doing with this thing? And it's very easy for them to bring those games over. Okay, maybe they feel like they may lose a little bit of money, but the goodwill that they would build by doing that is worth every penny that they lose. I just feel like this year, like Nintendo's had it on autopilot.
The other thing too, I've kind of been bugged by is that they have a virtual console service on the 3DS,
right?
And it's not tied to your original account. You can't just bring your games over to the 3DS that you've already bought on the Wii.
Yep, and it's a completely different account. So if you buy points on the Wii, you cannot use those same Nintendo points on your 3DS to buy games for the 3DS. That makes no sense whatsoever.
They should really take a look at how Microsoft have done that with the Windows phones, because I got sent a Windows phone a couple of weeks ago, playing around with it, synced it up with my Xbox Live Avatar. There are games there that support, I can buy on the phone that support the mainstream games, and they transfer across.
It totally should be unified. No doubt about it.
I don't know what Nintendo's thinking, and especially as, we're all expecting a new Xbox and maybe even the PS4 to be announced at E3 next year. That'll steal a lot of their thunder.
Oh, yeah.
So they really need to buck up their ideas.
I just can't understand what they've been doing. What are they doing?
They're working on shorter friend codes. It's only
I mean,
7
last
digits.
year wasn't much better, man. I mean, last year was not a great year for the Wii either, and here we are 2 years. I mean,
I think
that
you're being-
console lasted 3 years of
I'm
its life
thinking
cycle.
you are being very generous in saying that Nintendo supported it for 3 years. I would say Nintendo supported it for no more than 2. As soon as the balance board came out with Wii Fit, they were checked out.
Yeah,
They
I mean,
were absolutely
the
checked. It's like
franchise has stopped
shovelware,
coming.
bring it out. Tubby
I don't know.
McLardasses
It's
lose
the
weight
same-
number 6.
But it's the same story. It's the same as the GameCube and the N64.
Which is it's Nintendo's stock and trade. And,
Yeah, for the last couple generations. I mean, I'm not overly surprised. I guess the real big surprise is just what Shane said, is that they're in this leader position.
It was
and
the
they kind of
leader.
just rest on the laurels.
I mean, it was
but
beyond
you
that.
made the point. They do it every single time, and every time we are surprised, the fans are surprised. They say, "Oh, the next time they'll get it right. Next time they'll get it right." And all the entire time, everybody at Nintendo is just like, "Yeah, we've made our money. Fuck you."
Look, I can see the N64. Well, I could see the GameCube, N64 to a lesser extent, because it was pretty successful. GameCube, I would say, was pretty much a failure. So I could see them kind of bailing out of that early. But here you're talking about a console that has led this generation in hardware, and they have failed to support it. It's like, I finished Zelda, and I'm looking at my machine, and I'm like, should I just take it out of the entertainment center at this point? Like, why would I even have my Wii now? Unless it's for virtual console games, which, there's limited value in that. So I just can't comprehend it. And, the fact, all the uproar over them not bringing over these games that people are really excited for, there's no excuse for that. I mean, I'm sure Nintendo saw all the little internet videos that went viral about people. That one guy that put the money down on the table saying, that got to Nintendo. And, time and time again, they talk to Reggie, and he's like, nope, no plans to bring those over. It's like, why? What are you doing, dude?
Look, we hear you. You want what you've always wanted, but you also want something new.
All right, so that wraps up our big, well, not so big, Thanksgiving episode. A little shorter than usual, but hopefully it will help you avoid some of your annoying relatives, at least for 20 or 30 minutes over the holiday. We do have a couple announcements to make before we go. First of all, I think we have the best giveaway we have ever had on Invisible Walls.
It's a date with Shane.
No. No, it's not.
Runners Up prizes a week with Shane.
I don't know if that would be much of a prize. We have 3 pairs of Astro A40 headphones. Now, if you guys don't know, these are literally the best gaming headphones on the market. No doubt, hands down. I think there's a couple others that people kind of debate back and forth, but in my opinion, they're the best on the market.
I use the Astros at home, and they're absolutely friggin' brilliant.
They're crazy expensive, folks. You definitely want to get these. They are limited edition Saints Row the Third themed headsets, and we're going to be giving them away on Twitter over the weekend. You have to follow.
They probably look like a giant dildo, by the way.
They're all purple.
Wearing these in public.
You have to follow Invisible Walls to get these 3 pairs of A40s, limited edition Saints Row, U.S. only, unfortunately. That is one of the stipulations for the contest. Otherwise, follow us at Invisible Walls on Twitter. We will do 3 trivia questions throughout the weekend, so make sure you are on point with your mobile phone or whatever as you're traveling. Next week, we'll be doing a Spike VGA pre-show, where we talk about all the nominees for the various awards. Also, one last call for interns. We had them on the show today, hopefully to convince you guys that it's worth your time to come out here and work with us. If you are interested, send an email to GameTrailersInterns, that's plural, at gmail.com. Have to be a junior or senior. You have to get college credit. We do not pay you. You must come to Los Angeles. If you're cool with all of that, drop us an email and we'll get you in here and you could be the next Ed and Ben. Travel safe. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Invisible Walls is up and out.